Alright, this is going to be a list of some anime shows slash movies that I very much enjoy and would love for you to check out. Tell me what you think about them. Keep in mind, these are in no specific order. This is not a ranking, it's simply just a list. So first we have Ghost in the Shell, the movie. This was done by Studio Production IG. This movie takes place in the year 2029 in a world of highly advanced cybernetics, humans replacing various body parts, but for Major Motoko Kusanagi, her whole body is a prosthetic. And being part of the public security, her and her team find herself dealing with a case with this hacker known as Puppet Master. Let me tell you, this movie is just beautiful. The backgrounds are breathtaking, how detailed and distinct the city is. The visuals alone make this movie more than worth it. Then you have the music added on top of it. Look, just watch the opening credits and try not to be blown away from the visuals and the music. I have watched this both sub and dub, and I can highly recommend both. Next, we have Fully Cooly, and this one was done by Studio Gainax and Production IG. Honestly, I don't want to give anything away about Fully Cooly. I am very confident in recommending that you go into this knowing absolutely nothing, as I did. And this anime is something that you will rewatch every year and never grow tired of it. I know I don't. I would not say the same for the other seasons. I'd very much just say watch the original Fully Cooly. It's only 6 episodes, so it's not that huge of an investment. Next, we have Gurren Lagann, or Gurren Lagann, as some people say. This was done by Studio Gainax, and I'm sure you've also heard a lot about this anime. But I have to say that this is one of those animes where goosebumps cover your entire body whenever there's action, whenever you're remembering these amazing scenes. This story follows Simon, or Simon, born in an underground village when one day he stumbles upon a key that allows him to go into the world above. This show is just something that I love. It gives me goosebumps, it really does. The aesthetic alone is amazing. How well the characters are designed and the world design mix so well. Characters are well defined, relationships between the characters are so believable. It also has mechs, and I love anything with mechs. Anything with mechs, I will give a watch. And let me tell you, the mechs in Gurren Lagann are one of a kind. Nothing else has replicated anything like this. I've watched this dub. I have not rewatched it subbed, but I plan to. Either way, I can assume both are really good. Next, we have History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. This was done by Studio TMS Entertainment. Keep in mind, I watched this in high school, but I still remember it fondly. I think because at the time, I really did relate to Kenichi. So let me explain. Kenichi is your average high school student who wants to make some self-improvement. He joins the karate club, but an upperclassman challenges him, and if he loses, he's got to leave the club. Kenichi thinks of running away, but when he runs into his new classmate, Miyu, and you see Miyu lives in a dojo with her father and several masters of different fighting styles. Kenichi eventually becomes a disciple of this dojo, but a gang known as Ragnarok starts challenging him and finds interest in him. This anime has some really great fight scenes. And of course, it's a mixed martial arts anime, so there's different styles. There was also some comedy bits, some fan service sprinkled in between the mix. Characters are solid and art is consistent. I have watched this dubbed, and I can highly recommend the dub. Have not watched it subbed, maybe I will rewatch it. Next is Redline. This was done by Studio Madhouse. Let me start by saying I found this movie off an amazing AMV, or anime music video, in case you don't know what that means. And every 5 years there's this race called the Redline, and our main character JP has qualified. This is such an amazing racing anime that I have yet to find anything on the level of this in terms of racing animes. Let me tell you, the ending race is all over the place. It is insane how crazy and amazing the animation gets. It's more than worth it. Also, I should say, this was done by Madhouse, and it's more than likely going to be good. If you don't know, Madhouse has a really good batting average of making amazing and excellent things. A fair warning in case you watch this in front of your parents or new friends or something, there is a very brief, well, maybe not very, but there's a brief moment of nudity, so keep that in mind. I didn't expect it. I watched it dubbed and can highly recommend it dubbed. Next, we have Kimi ni Todoke, or From Me to You, as it's in English. This was done by Studio Production IG. We follow high school student Sawako. She's a timid and shy girl whose appearance resembles that of the ghost girl from The Ring. Hence, her classmates gave her the nickname Sadako, which is the ghost girl from The Ring. But all Sawako wants to do is make friends, but she's just really shy. Until the popular boy starts talking to her, and this is hope for Sawako. Let me start by saying this anime is very, very cute. The visuals are just adorable looking, and rightfully so. This show is very much about building and maintaining relationships, where misunderstandings are a large part of the show's conflict. You will be screaming at your screen about the misunderstandings in this show. I admit, and again, I have no reason to lie to you, this show is a tearjerker. Be prepared to maybe let out a few tears. It's so good. As of the time of this recording, I haven't watched season 2, but I will get around to it. I watched it subbed. I'm sure there is a dub out there, but I would very much recommend this subbed. Next, we have Angel's Egg. This was done by Studio Dean, and I would very much recommend going into this blind. But if you must know something, I assure you what I'm about to say is not spoilers. It is a story about a girl who carries around this egg, and she meets this mysterious man. This movie is an odd one. With very interesting visuals and not a lot of dialogue, the director himself isn't quite sure what the movie is even about, and he asks the viewer to find the meaning for themselves. Next, we have High School of the Dead. This was done by Studio Madhouse. You know how I feel about Madhouse. Let me start by saying this is not one you want to watch in front of your parents. The story is simple. A bunch of Japanese high school students find themselves in a zombie apocalypse. There are some awesome zombie kills in this, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the gifs about the physics in this show. Visuals are nice, and characters for the most part are likable, but I admit the story isn't very strong, and with such a high saturation of zombies, it gets its job done. I very highly recommend the dub as it's more comedic and nicely done. Next, we have Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. This was done by Studio Sunrise, and need I say more than it's a Gundam. Watch Gundam. Really, any Gundam will do, but right now, my favorite is Iron-Blooded Orphans. Keep in mind, I haven't watched all of the Gundam series. Believe me, there's a lot out there. It's on my list. My list is huge. I will try to get through it. But back to Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's a simple story about Mars wanting independence from Earth, and a young aristocrat, Kudelia Ein Bernstein, gets involved, and she is under the protection of Tekkadan, or Iron Flower Brigade. Now, there was a little bit of political dealings here and there, but it isn't as heavy as the other Gundams. This one more so focuses on battles, and let me tell you, they get intense. This also has a second season, which I very highly recommend, so that way you can get the full story. I have watched it subbed. I hear there is a dub. I didn't really like it, but you can try it out, see if it fits your preference. And last but not least, we have Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This was done by Studio Kyoto Animation, and this is one of those feel-good animes. The kind that you can just put on, relax, and enjoy. I love this anime. It is so relaxing to watch. I love the characters, I love their designs, but let's rewind. So what's this show about? Kobayashi is this programmer who's getting ready for another day of work. As she leaves her apartment, she finds herself face to face with a dragon. This dragon then transforms into a young girl in the maid outfit. Her name is Toru, and she is going to be Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, hence the title. Turns out, Kobayashi got drunk the night before and met this dragon in the mountains, offering her a place to stay. Toru accepts and becomes her maid to repay her. As the series progresses, we run into a vast and colorful cast of characters that makes the show all the more greater. Seriously, watch the opening of the show and try not to smile. It perfectly represents this anime. I love how cute the characters get and how ridiculous the idea of dragons coming to our world and living with humans. Characters such as otakus and mages in training. I can't recommend this show enough. It is by far my favorite slice of life anime. And at the time of this recording, season 2 is not out, but I am very excited. Believe me, I am going to watch it. So there's a list of 10 anime I'd recommend, and I have a lot more that I want to recommend. So I'll probably end up doing another list. Please let me know any of your recommendations down below. Give them to me on social media as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Check the links in the description and subscribe for future rambles.